Flexify 2 fam, welcome back to the channel where we level up your career game. As the wise words of Ecclesiastes remind us, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. Today I'm going live to bring you more work from home job leads that'll get you paid and living your best life. So whether you're solo or a team, I've got the insights to help you succeed. So sit back, relax, and let's get this money. I'll be looking to the left during the live stream to talk about the jobs because that's where I use the secondary monitor. Our first up is going to be from a company called Partner Hero, and I located several opportunities for you. So let's dive in. The first opportunity I've located here is a customer support specialist too. And so your key responsibilities in this particular role, you're going to provide customer service support via email, chat, and phone for benefits related topics, including billing, insurance and verification, and account management. You're going to be troubleshooting platform issues and facilitating communication between clients and providers. Now, the salary range was not listed in this particular role. It is permanent full-time, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Now, the work schedule, we do have to consider this. It says to be determined. It is remote, and expected start date is April 24th, so that's within 12 days. So it's going to be a pretty quick hiring process. The application is to the right of us. You can apply with LinkedIn or you can apply manually. So when we talk about industry salary data, according to industry sources like PayScale and Glassdoor, remote customer support specialists in the healthcare benefits typically earn between $40,000 and $55,000 per year. Now that's with specialized roles commanding up to $60K, depending upon experience level, and your technical knowledge. A pro interview tip, if you're called for an interview for this particular role, I would tell you to prepare specific examples demonstrating your abilities to handle emotionally charged situations with empathy, right? Healthcare benefits support often involves customers experiencing medical stress or financial concerns. So show how you successfully de-escalated tensions while still providing accurate information. And if this opportunity resonates with you, I encourage you to apply. It's full-time employment. What they're expecting from the individual that is interviewed in this particular role, as I said, experience providing clear and concise and professional written and verbal communication, understanding of active listening techniques. So when people are talking, you're, remaining silent to hear them out. Or just kind of nodding and saying to acknowledge that you are still active on the line. So think about that. And then strong ability to independently own resolution of conflict. So that's that de-escalation skill. So this is full-time employment. Competitive compensation is based upon your experience. They have a dedicated wellness program, including support from in-house psychologists. They have one-on-one coaching with feedback sessions, mentorship, and opportunities for cross-functional development. They also have a paid sabbatical leave, so we can talk about that. A sabbatical leave is one that is non-statutory or not one that is charged or under the federal leave umbrella. So it's more of a personal leave, and there's typically specific requirements that have to be met to obtain a sabbatical leave. More times than none for sabbaticals, it's usually a 3 to 5 year employment commitment, meaning you've worked for the company at least 3 to 5 years before they'll consider providing that sabbatical leave. And it's also based upon staffing, right, within the company. And can the other team members absorb the work that you do while you're out? So if this opportunity resonates with you, I encourage you to check out Careers with Partner Hero. But what I also want to look at in this particular role or at this particular company, there were so many different opportunities I just want to bring to your attention to my international fam. And so in Honduras and Romania, the Philippines, South Africa, I already said Honduras. What else do we have here? Let me just go through the Brazil. Let's see. I think that may be it in terms of the international opportunities. So you don't have to be one of my international fam to be interested if you're living in one of those countries. If you're living in the US and thinking about moving abroad, you can check out Partner Hero for some of their opportunities. All right, so next on our list is CareMetx. And so CareMetx here is an organization that's decided that they will not just sit idly, knowing that there are barriers in the healthcare industry that need addressing. And so CareMetx works together to make a real difference for people who are battling rare conditions. And so the opportunity that I found at CareMetx was a reimbursement specialist. In my last live, Sarfu would chat and ask about reimbursement specialist roles. So I came across this role, and in Sarfu, if you're out there in the comments or watching the channel or watch the restream, I actually have this up here for you today. So CareMetx is looking for a reimbursement specialist to handle insurance benefit investigations, prior authorization support, and call triage. And so, what you're going to do in this role is complete insurance forms, track authorizations, and communicate with providers and insurance representatives. CareMetx has taken the liberty of giving us the salary range, which is $30,490 per year through up to $38,960 per year. And so, in this particular role, although they listed the salary range is slightly below market average, I want to bring that to your attention. So, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the healthcare staffing reports reimbursement specialists typically earn $38,000 to $52,000 nationally, with some of the metropolitan areas and specialized healthcare fields offering $45,000 to $60,000 for experienced specialists. So I'm just going to put on my glasses here. And so the pro interview tip that I would give you for this particular role is to showcase your investigative mindset by describing kind of complex insurance verification case that you've resolved if you have that experience, and explain your systematic approach to tracing information through multiple systems. Show how you kind of communicated findings to stakeholders, and then how your attention to detail resulted in successful reimbursement. Now, when we talk about showcasing or communicating your findings to stakeholders, that's typically through presentation. So you want to talk about your presentation skills for this particular role. And the educational requirements here is high school diploma or GED, 1 year experience in a specialty pharmacy, medical insurance, physician's office, or healthcare setting, and or related experience. So, if you have done admin work, if you have done any kind of office related work, I would go as far as to say it doesn't have to be in a healthcare setting. However, that will help because you'll understand some of the medical lingo that they're speaking. But that's not something that you can't learn and pick up relatively quickly. So if this opportunity resonates with you with CareMetx, I encourage you to apply. We're going to move on to our next opportunity here. And this is with a company called Human Interest. So here at Human Interest, they're a high growth tech company, and they're changing the retirement industry. And so here, I've found a couple of opportunities, or a number of them, that are remote and also hybrid, depending upon what you are interested in. Now, if you're interested in the hybrid portion, that is in Linden, Utah. So if you're residing in Utah and you like a hybrid role, have at it. For those of us who are looking for something that is strictly remote and at home, I found a record keeping operations associate. And so let's click into this particular role here. And so in this particular role, you're going to be supporting 401k plan administration, right? And you're going to review and reconcile account data. You'll serve kind of as an expert in 3 to 4 operational processes, as well as handle complex assignments and escalations. Now, the salary range here at Human Interest indicates that it's going to vary by geographic location. And so the salary range is $23 to $28 per hour. Now, in terms of the industry salary data for this particular role, That translates into approximately 47,840 to 58,240 annually, and that's based on a 40-hour work week, right? So that aligns with industry averages. According to financial services compensation surveys, retirement plan administration associates typically will earn 45 to 65,000 per year, and that's going to vary upon depending upon location and your experience level. Now, with fintech companies often paying the more premium rates. And so, as we look at the qualifications and what type of employee or individual human interest is looking to recruit, they're looking for someone with a strong understanding of portfolio management concepts, right? So, that's your position. Your position means what stock you're in, your trades, that could be day trading. But if you are an active investor, it's all trading, whether it's day trading, whether it's buying stock positions that are long-term buy and hold, whether it's buying penny stocks, holding for a certain short-term hold, and then selling when the price pops. All of that is considered trading. And then securities. They like you to have prior experience with institutional trading and custodial operations, and then prior experience processing corporate actions, fund swaps, or trade settlement reconciliation. That's the ASPPA, the RPF certificate, or have QKA credentials. So there is some certifications there that are preferred, but they're not required. So it's on their wish list. And some of the benefits at Human Interest, they have a 401k plan, their own 401k. It matches dollar for dollar up to 4% of compensation. There is zero plan fees. So that's really huge because most 401ks are going to have fees wrapped up inside the plan. So the fact that they have no fees within their 401k is awesome. They have top of the line health plans as well as dental and vision, generous PTO and paid parental leave policies. Now, they have additional wealth. They have unlimited access to digital tools, financial professionals, and a knowledge center to help you understand your equity and support your financial wellness. So, this company not only pays salary, they also have an equity grant that they offer to their employees, and that can create generational wealth. And so, they have a student loan resource, monthly work from home stipend. So they're going to pay you for that setup in your house. They have employee resource groups. They also have fun online and regional events, as well as celebrations and department and company offsites. So that's probably more like company picnics or maybe team building activities. And then the vast majority of the positions here at human interest are primarily remote. So the pro interview tip that I would give you for this particular role is, prepare to discuss your reconciliation methodology, right? If you have experience in this area, highlight the specific steps that you kind of take to ensure data accuracy. So, human interest emphasizes meticulous attention to detail. So, explain your personal system for catching discrepancies, your process for investigating root causes, and then also how you maintain focus during repetitive data review tasks. That's my pro tip for this particular role if you are called for an interview. And if you are interested, you are certainly welcome to apply. The application is right at the bottom attached to the requisition. We're going to move on to our next opportunity with Tarpon Health. All right, and Tarpon Health is looking for a human resource generalist. So this is a full spectrum HR functions included in this role that's going to be comprised of recruitment, onboarding, benefits administration, compliance, employee relations, as well as policy enforcement. And so the salary range is posted for this particular role of 60 to 100K per year. Now, when we talk about the industry salary data for this particular role, it's a wide salary range and it's consistent with market rates for remote HR generalists who typically earn between 60 and 75,000 nationally. Now, there are some specialization areas in HR, and while those specialized compliance while those with specialized compliance expertise or healthcare industry knowledge can command somewhere between 75 and 95,000 per year, and that's particularly in the technology-focused healthcare companies. So the requirements here for this particular role, they like someone with excellent verbal and written communication skills, excellent interpersonal negotiation and conflict resolution. So when you do employee relations, you do need very sharp conflict resolution skills, right? And someone who has the ability to stand in the middle, right? The truth lies somewhere in the middle because you have two sides to every street, even if it's one way. Excellent time management skills with a proven ability to meet deadlines, strong analytical and problem solving skills, and the ability to prioritize tasks. Ability to act with integrity, professionalism, and confidentiality. They like someone who is proficient with Microsoft Office Suite and related software, and then also proficient with the ability to quickly learn the organization's HRIS and talent management systems. Now, for the experience in education, they like someone with a bachelor's degree in human resources, business administration, or related field is required. And then 2 years of human resources generalist experience is required. And then the SHRM CP is a plus. So the SHRM CP is not required. It is on, Tarpon Health's wish list. And then here we have the salary quoted in the actual requisition. So the pro interview tip that I would give for this particular role is prepare to discuss your experience in HR. And then your experience also with HR metrics and data analysis. Tarpon Health operates in the healthcare automation space, so demonstrating how you use data to improve HR processes like reducing time to hire, or increasing retention would be another example. And that's going to show you can contribute to their analytical and technology focused culture. So if this opportunity strikes your eye, I encourage you to apply. We're going to move on to our next opportunity here. And this is with Gemini. I featured Gemini in some previous videos, but it was for a totally different role. I like the roles that Gemini posts because the salaries are much more than fair, and really fair within the market that we're seeing. So this is an associate for credit card support. And the key responsibilities here are going to be managing customer inquiries through Zendesk. Zendesk is a ticketing system almost, if you will, and you're going to manage those inquiries through Zendesk. It's very similar to Salesforce or Jira. And you're going to serve as a liaison between customers and internal teams. You're going to handle escalated issues and maintain expert knowledge of Gemini's credit card products. Now, the salary for this particular role is definitely fair. It's $66,000 to $75,000 with a base salary, and then there's a bonus and equity grant that's available. A lot of the companies that I'll bring forth and showcase here are startups, and the reason why I feature startups is because that's where you're going to be able to get those stock options and equity grants along with salary, and that kind of beefs up the salary that you're getting from the base compensation, and you're getting a little bit more. Now, the industry salary data for this particular type of role, this compensation package, I can tell you, is extremely competitive. Now, the financial services customer support roles typically pay between $45,000 and $65,000 per year, while crypto-specific support roles average between $55,000 to $70,000. And the additional discretionary bonuses and equity in this particular role makes this package particularly attractive compared to traditional financial service support positions. Now, the qualifications for this particular role is 3 to 4 years in customer support capacity or equivalent, familiarity with crypto, passionate about providing a great customer experience, confident verbal communication and polished written communication, experience administering and configuring Zendesk support, guide and chat, and then experience in financial services support in a regulated environment. So if you worked in utilities or different things like that, those are regulated environments. And experience and comfort with solving complex problems from end to end, and comfortable with flexible hours. So let's talk about that. If you're not looking for something where you have to kind of pivot in the schedule that you work, this may not be the opportunity for you. And you can check out some of the other roles that I've showcased. And that comfort with flexible hours is going to be including weekends. And they need that because they need comprehensive support coverage and then a basic understanding of financial markets and trading. So, if you are a person who day trades or just a trader in general, doing swings, deep swings, wheel strategy, you're familiar with that, this may be something you want to look into. And if you're interested, I encourage you to apply. The pro tip for this particular role I would give, if I had to think about it, research and be prepared to discuss specific, maybe security and compliance challenges in crypto payments. Since Gemini operates in a highly regulated space, demonstrating your understanding of the balance between user experience and security protocols like 2FA or transaction monitoring is going to show that you understand the unique aspects of supporting financial support products in the cryptocurrency industry. And if this strikes your interest, I encourage you to apply. We're going to move on to our next one, and that is with a company called Mission Lane. Mission Lane is looking for a credit manager for portfolio analytics. And this is fully remote. In fact, all of the roles that I feature today are fully remote roles. And so your key responsibilities in this particular role, you'll lead the initiatives for launching new products and improving underwriting strategies. You're going to optimize acquisition, right, and account management strategies. You're going to drive testing for customer behavior insights, and then analyze data for product development and collaborate cross-functionally with other departments such as like the product, data science, and growth teams. Now, the salary range for this role is between 140,000 to 170,000 as a base, and then you have potential for annual incentives and equity. So again, here we go with that equity in creating generational wealth, or at least the opportunity to do so. The requirements for this role, 4 to 7 years in a highly analytical role, problem solving abilities, familiarity with SQL, SQL, and Python, and a bachelor's or master's degree in a quantitative field. Now, the preferred qualifications here include experience with credit cards and customer lending and working with fast-paced startup environments. So if you work for a startup, maybe you've worked for Capital One in the past and then some other startup, you've got what they're looking for. So I encourage you to check that out. Now, Mission Lane focuses on revolutionizing access to credit for millions of Americans on a path to financial success. And so the company employs top talent and leverages cutting edge technology to redefine customer credit in a positive way. Now, in terms of salary insight, the 140 to 170K base salary range is highly competitive. I can tell you that for credit analytics management roles. Now, according to Glassdoor, PayScale, and Robert Half salary guides, credit manager positions in financial services typically range from 100 to 150K per year. And then with those specializing in portfolio analytics and strategy development, commanding premium compensation. And then we have the additive of the incentive programs, right? And then the equity makes this package particularly attractive compared to similar roles at traditional banks, which the banks may offer comparable base pay but less upside potential through equity. Now, pro tip here for a competitive edge in this role: demonstrate impact with metrics. That's probably going to be the biggest thing that I can think of. Prepare specific examples of how your analytical work directly impacted portfolio performance, and including exact percentages and improvement in metrics like approval rates, loss rates, or customer lifetime value. I think you should be ready to discuss risk reward trade-offs. Because Mission Lane serves credit building customers, so Mission Lane really has a deep passion for those with credit problems and getting them to better credit and helping them repair. So Mission Lane serves credit building customers, so prepare to discuss how you balanced growth objectives with appropriate risk management. And then, pro interview tip: prepare a case study, presentation of a complex analytical problem you've solved that demonstrates your end-to-end approach. Kind of walk through how you identified the problem and frame your hypothesis. selected the appropriate data and methodology, overcame the analytical challenges in it, if there were any, and then ultimately translated insights into actionable business recommendations. So almost answering questions in more of a STAR method. When you do this, this is going to demonstrate not just your technical skills, but your business acumen and the ability to drive change, which it appears this is what this role is looking for. So if this role resonates for you, the application is right at the bottom. I encourage you to apply. With that said, we're going to move on to our next role. And this is with a company called Data Force. Data Force is looking for, and this is in the PST time zone only. I need to make that clear. This is PST, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 to 20 hours per week. They are looking for live English transcriptionists, and it is remote. In this role, it's part-time. You're going to transcribe live virtual meetings in real time without relying on recordings or automatic speech recognition. You must accurately capture all spoken information and gestures during meetings and then deliver final transcriptions within 24 hours. The pay is pretty good for a part-time role, right? $24.70 per hour and 10 to 20 hours per week, Tuesday through Thursday. So that means your Monday, your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is you're free to do what you want. So this is great for stay-at-home parents, retirees. Those are kind of in between jobs if you're in that PST time zone. Now, the requirements for this role, you need 2 years of experience transcribing live events and then understanding of transcription conventions. That means typing and stenography courses or strong shorthand typing speed. Proficiency with Google Workspace is going to be good, and then excellent listening skills. The NCRA certification and steno machine experience are considered pluses. So that means they're not required. They're on Data Force's wish list. Now, the industry salary insights for this, the $24.70 hourly rate translates to approximately $51,376 for full-time work. So we're going to slice that in half and say part-time, you'd be making about $25,000 per year. Now, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Specialized Transcription Industry Reports, real-time transcriptionists and stenographers typically earn between $20 and $35 per hour, depending on specialization. The pro tip for the competitive edge, prepare for the live transcription test. That's the biggest pro tip I can give you. Practice transcribing different types of content, including multiple speakers, some kind of, and maybe even like technical terminology and varied accents before your interview. Document your accuracy rates. Be ready to provide specific metrics about your transcription accuracy from previous roles, especially your WER, which is your word error rate. And then demonstrate your quality control process. Be prepared to explain your personal system for ensuring accuracy, meeting deadlines, and handling challenging audio situations. Now, the pro interview tip I would give here, during your 10-minute transcription test, focus on not just capturing every word, but also properly formatting speaker identification and nonverbal cues. After completing the test, briefly explain how you would improve your process for the full role. And that's going to demonstrate your self-awareness more so than anything, and your commitment to excellence. And that's going to give you a competitive edge and separate you from candidates who simply complete the minimum requirements. And if this opportunity resonates with you, I encourage you to apply. All right, fam, that wraps it up for this evening. We've got Els Endeavors in the audience here today. She told me thanks for sharing, and you are quite welcome, Els Endeavors, and I appreciate you dropping by the live stream today. If you all haven't had a chance, please check out Els Endeavors' channel. She's got some wonderful motivational quotes there, and just some wisdom and knowledge. She's talking to us about some Bible teachings there, and I check out her channel pretty frequently. So if you haven't had the chance, please check out Els Endeavors' channel. She would appreciate you dropping by. And if you resonate with the postings there and the content, definitely like and subscribe. You know, we need that for the algorithm. And folks, that's going to wrap it up for our session today in the live stream. I want to thank you for tuning in, fam. And if you're ready to take your career to the next level, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I've got more fire content coming your way. And follow us here on YouTube for your daily doses of motivation and job tips. Until next time, be kind, keep it positive, and we can win if we don't quit.